Alright, what's up? We back at it with another video. Today it's the 4th, January 4th, it's a new year. We in it. 2024. Let me know in the comments what your plans are, what your goals are, and what you're striving to achieve this year, because this one's gonna be crazy. But today's video is gonna be something a little bit different, but another direction that I want to go into, because I want to start reading more books this year. And I finished the David Goggins book, Never Finished, on my Kindle, or his new book called Never Finished. And I just want to give a little insights on it, and my review essentially of the book. So here we go. A lot of people can be pretty polarized by him because he's a little too extreme in his, well, I don't know if a little is the right word, but he is very extreme with his ambitions and his goals, and he's relentless at it and will do anything at will to succeed them, which is empowering and amazing. And some of the feats he has done is truly profound, right? However, I'm a fan of David Goggins. I'm not as extreme as him, obviously, like going out in the cold, running like 100 miles, ultra marathons, things like that. However, I do love his devotion to becoming better and utilizing the mind and breaking free from the mentality that, you know, we can't do what we want to do, right? And that's what I love about him. But there's other people that hate him. There's other people that think he's over the top. Some military people that I know don't like him because he's spread this message when you're not supposed to, like, because you're in the military, you're not supposed to reveal what you've gone through, from what I've heard. You know, I don't know, right? But going into the book, it is, I'm going to say, if you want to read a David Goggins book, the first one, Can't Hurt Me, was his best book. I think there's like no doubt about that. Like, in his first book, he really went in on his background and how he became who he was. And in Never Finished, he reiterates the same things, just with different stories, and of course new ones, because this is the newer book and he's gone or overcame new challenges. So new challenges are in the book, but it's basically the same stuff. You know, you could expect him running and doing some other activities as well that he perseveres, and it was great. Like it was cool, but again, it was nothing really new. However, there was one thing that really got me thinking, and there was one part that he had in the book, which was fairly later in the book, and I think it's probably the most important thing out of the book, and it's the idea of an oath, right? David talks about, and I don't want to spoil it too much, obviously, but I guess in a sense that I am right now, but what an oath is to David Goggins is essentially having a drive or a sort of sentence or rules for yourself that you just cannot break, that are non-negotiables, and when things get tough, you go back on your oath. I found that one to be the most profound out of this book, the one that got me hooked the most, and it was a relatively like short chapter. It was like a couple pages about it, and I think that was probably the most important, honestly, because everything else was about him accomplishing the feats, not necessarily what there was aspects of him going in his mind and saying like what he feels like and all this stuff, which is great, but and he does advertise it that he's not like a self-help guy. Like, he's not the person to be like, here are tips for this, that, and the third. It's like, life is hard and you just got to get out of it. And when he goes in on the oath part, he is like illustrating that when he's down, his number one mentality is that he wants to be the baddest in the world, and that he is, you know, he's gone through so much, and if he doesn't continue on with being the baddest guy in the world, he can't live with being himself. And because of that, that's his drive and that's his motivation to come back from such horrible and difficult times. And I feel we can use that oath ideology into 2024 and so on. Now, you know, you guys need to, and what I took out of it is that you guys need to make yourself into, either have a persona or have something that you can, that is strong enough to have you devote your time and attention to becoming the best that you can, or doing something that you really want to do, right? And I mean, for me personally, like, I think I'm Spider-Man. It's half a joke, but it's not. I mean, I really love the idea of Spider-Man. Maybe I'll go that in a different video. But besides that, besides being Spider-Man, my other oath is that, you know, I, as an individual, want to be the best that I can be at. Like, there's just so many things we can do, but I want to be the best for my family and for myself, obviously, because without myself, I won't be able to help my family. But really, my family is like one of my biggest things that keep me pushing. And it's like, when you can't do it, when it feels like it's too tough, you just are able to think back on your oath and be like, yeah, wait, this is for them. I gotta go the extra step. I gotta go the extra mile. And that's what he talks in this chapter. And that's what I think is the most important aspect of the book, right? And I think it's important for you guys to create an oath for yourself in order to establish a means to help you get out of these difficult situations. Now, to end it off, I'm gonna say this book was a solid like 8 out of 10. Like, it's nothing crazy. It's the same stuff. And the only new thing I got from it was that oath from the chapter. And some supplementary stuff, because I've recently I listen to Andrew Huberman a lot. Andrew Huberman, the Huberman Lab podcast. That's a fire podcast. I recommend you guys check it out. But he recently had one with David Goggins, and it's probably the best podcast episode that I've listened to in a while, and I think it's up there. Like, David is literally going in and spreading facts. So would I say watch the podcast to get the book? I mean, I guess so. So do that. I don't know if that was helpful, but yeah, if you want to read David Goggins, get Can't Hurt Me first. If you really love him, get Never Finished. But Never Finished is basically the same thing. And also make sure to listen to that podcast. It was made on January 2nd. So go check it out. I'm obviously not sponsored by anybody. My channel is so little, but I'm here to help and give as much information as possible. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.